Hello! Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, what's happening, folks? Oh, hello! Hello, hello, lots of people tuning in. How are you guys? Good evening, happy Saturday. Hello, Stuart. Hello, Jack. Hello, Chris. Hello, Matthew. I got the new mission box and the Space Wolf set today, says Matthew. Congrats, dude. I went for the new objective markers because apparently the tournament I was just at, I went into my bag to get my objective markers out, and apparently I've lost my objective markers. Why does the cockpit look crooked? What, here? Yeah, maybe it's a little bit broken. Oh, maybe I broke this bit. I don't know where the glass is as well. You know, the glass that goes in here? I mean, this model is like 30 years old. Maybe not 30, but at least 20. I had this model like before I quit 40k, and I quit. I'll just put paint on the damn mat. Why don't you? Yeah, so this model is from before when I quit. I'm trying to think when I quit. What year was that? I quit playing 40k for like 10 years. Had some family stuff I was going through, so I didn't play 40k from like 2009 to maybe like 2016 or something. So not quite 10 years, but close. So I've had this, so this model is pre-2009, I think. I don't remember buying it since I came back. I'm sure it's been in storage. I'm sure it's been in storage for that long. So this model is actually probably painted in Bal Red, which is a paint that doesn't even exist anymore. They changed Bal Red. It's much more like... No, it wasn't Bal Red, excuse me. It was called Blood Red. I think Blood Red ended up becoming somewhere in between Evil Sun Scarlet and Mephiston Red. So I guess before they had, when the paints had a bit more generic names, Blood Red was the red that I used to paint all my models. So yeah, this thing is, I'm pretty sure this thing is at least 17 years old then. So it was made, if it's 17 years old, then I made it when I was much younger. And my modelling skills have improved a lot, hopefully, in the last 17 years. The top cockpit looks crooked. The top cockpit isn't glued on, because I plan to paint that guy underneath, so I could, like, pop it off, right? So I didn't glue that bit on. Maybe that's why that's looking crooked. Lead Belcher, yeah, I'll be doing Lead Belcher probably, but we're gonna. I like to undercoat with a lighter grey first. Doesn't really matter what grey. You could use that. I've got a pot of it. What's that grey? The new base color one. Is it? It's not Stormfang, is it? Let me look at it. I'm very much like, for years I've been undercoating with Dawnstone. Grey Seer, that's the one. I don't think I've actually ever used this paint since I bought it. I'll be able to tell. I mean, it's been opened, I think. Yeah, it looks like it's been opened, but I don't know what I used it for. I mean, I could undercoat with Grey Seer. I'm just using Dawnstone at the moment. Dawnstone seems to be my go-to layer underpaint. But yeah, I don't know where the glass is for the cockpit. It's a little bit annoying, but I guess my Stormraven just won't have any glass. Have any tips for restoring Road Trader era rhinos? You mean like stripping the paint off them, or what do you mean by restoring them? I have stripped paint off old models before, but maybe not quite as old as Road Trader. I've definitely stripped paint off like 2nd edition minis. Even Eternal Crusader, how are you? If you've been living under a rock, then the new mission cards came out for pre-order today. I guess chapter approved 2025 mission deck, I guess is what they're calling it. It didn't have a name? Or did it have a name and I just didn't pay attention and just looked for chapter approved 25? I got a fully painted Land Raider from my brother. Java Balls is your brother? Java Balls that's sometimes in the chat in here, Matthew, or it's completely unrelated? I'm sure I've seen someone in chat before called Java Balls, right? The name rings a bell. Man, your brother is going to paint you a land... You ask him to paint me something. Especially Lamenters, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm going to be playing a different detachment next. I haven't decided what one. I haven't decided on the list. But what I have decided is it's probably going to be something different. I mean, there could be a very solid argument for just saying, like, take 18 Blade Guard and play Liberator Assault Group. I may fall back onto that. Now, do you know what? That's the backup plan, right? So I'm going to come up with a different detachment, a different list, something quirky, something wacky. And if we get anywhere close to my next event, which is in 12 weeks, we get to like 4 weeks out and I don't feel like things are working, I'll fall back on like that MSU Liberator Assault Group, spam, all the cheap units, right? Hello Miles, yeah, it is a Stormraven. Alright Miles, we're playing on Wednesday. Do you mind if I bring a Stormraven? And do you mind if I bring some... I say wacky, I mean I'm gonna try and... I say it's gonna be whack... I'm still trying to make a strong list, right? Might be different, it might not be super Blood Angels, but I'm intending it for it to be strong. Let's see some Firestorm. Ugh, probably not Firestorm. I don't think I'm a fan of Fire... I don't really know how to use Firestorm to make, like, strong combos or... yeah, I just don't know if I know how to use Firestorm. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Iron Storm or Stormlance. I know someone was saying Librarius Conclave, but I think it's going to be Iron Storm or Stormlance. I think that's what you can have. I think that's what you can make the strongest list. My phone is like blowing up with notifications. Why? No notifications all day. I go live and suddenly all the notifications start coming in. What's that about? Of course, the transport capacity of the Stormraven, I believe it's 12 plus 1 dreadnought. So I'm thinking Ballistus or Redemptor plus 12 guys. I was actually thinking at one point Brutalis, Brutalis, 3 Centurions, and like a character. What are the mission cards for? I mean, they refresh the missions every... I feel like they used to refresh them every 6 months. Now they refresh them every year. What's the new cards? Well, I guess it's new primaries and secondaries for tournament play. I guess it's probably some new deployments for tournament play. You could probably wait and find like photocopies of the cards if you really can't afford them. They cost like $15-16. I mean, they are handy to have, but you can also just use that Tabletop Tactics app. So you can probably get, like, if you really don't want to spend the $16, at least it's $16 in the UK. You can probably avoid doing the cards. They have changed the cards. The cards used to be every 6 months. They're now every year. I think it's much better being every year, honestly. 6 months it didn't feel like there was enough meaningful changes in the cards every 6 months to justify buying the cards again, I would say. Man, I am going to be hitting my magnifying glass all the time. Opinions of Brutalis vs Death Company Dreadnought. I think the Brutalis is better. And there's multiple reasons it's better. It's cheaper, which is a good start. It has impact mortals, which I guess your opponent cannot avoid. Whereas like your opponent can avoid the Brutalis's rule by just not shooting it. You have OC3 on that Brutalis, which is actually it might even be OC4. But I mean the problem is the Death Company Dreadnought is OC0. So you have a good amount of OC on the Brutalis. I mean I think you lose a 6-up Feel No Pain, which I don't think I rate very highly on a 10-12 wound model. Gives you like 1 or 2 more wounds maybe. Whoop-de-doo. If the enemy's gonna take 12 wounds off you, they're probably gonna take 13 or 14 off you as well. So I think the correct way to do it is to take a Brutalis Dreadnought and not the Death Company one. I mean, even if the points were the same, I think I would still probably go for the Brutalis, because I think it's much harder to play 0 OC stuff, man. Like if you've played any 0 OC stuff before, like it. In some ways, it's a weird sort of like pseudo dead point thing that, like, you know, you need to take this objective or you need to do Storm Hostile, and you're like, oh well, I can't do Storm Hostile or something because the thing that I'll be storming Hostile with has no OC or you know, like it just adds a level of complexity that I'm not sure is needed, and it's stuff. Like its abilities are not good enough to add that extra level of complexity. Art Charge says, got to Scotland the week before, perfect weather the entire time, sunlight, fresh breeze, still took a jacket. So did you have a nice time, dude? I mean, I think in Scotland in May you always want to have a jacket. I mean, even now, like today, I had like I went out today in a t-shirt. I still had extra clothes in my car, in the trunk of my car, right? Andrew says, hi John, a question. I'm a casual player, so I don't know what's good. So I don't know about competitive play, but can you use the first data slate when playing competition games? And what do you think of them? What do you mean, can you use the first data slate? You use the most up-to-date data slate. Like, I'm not sure what you mean. In terms of like, so there's the chapter approved, and there's the field manual, the munitionary field manual or whatever it's called. If you're going to a tournament, you need to use the most updated chapter approved rules. You need to use the most updated field manual rules. You can't opt to use like an older rule. No. Is that what you're asking? It's been a long time since I've painted a vehicle as big as this. The cards before the codex. Oh, right. You're talking about, like, can you use the Liberator Assault Group, the index stuff? No, you can. Sorry, the Sons of Sanguinius index stuff. No, you can't use any of that. The second your codex comes out, all that stuff becomes well, like, basically when the codex comes out, all your rules from index armies and detachments go away. I'm actually wondering where they actually say that they go away, but they do go away. I mean, as a veteran, you kind of know that they're going away, but yeah, I mean, I guess that could confuse a new player. I don't know. I actually don't know where they explicitly state that the codex overwrites index and the index rules can no longer be played. I mean, they must say it somewhere. I just don't know where they say it, actually. No one's ever asked that before. Good question. Well, I'm glad you had a great time in Scotland. I hope traipsing around with an extra jacket didn't turn out to be too much work for you. What was that? I'm thinking of running the Stormraven as a flyer, I think. I must admit, I haven't played any flyers yet in 10th edition, so if I was going to run the Stormraven, I'm probably playing it as a flyer. I have to read the rules still, because I honestly don't know. There was a time where they couldn't... You had to arrive in turn 2, right? What are the most up-to-date rules for this? Like, I need to read the rules, I guess, this week. Doesn't change the fact that this guy needs some paint on him, and that's what I decided I'm going to do tonight. I mean, I felt like I could paint more Blade Guard, but I mean, I don't know if I want, like, do I want to run 18 Blade Guard? Like, it's a serious question. Like, I like Blade Guard, I've run them in 6s recently at tournaments, but do I want to just go full meta and run 18? I don't know if I'm getting the mission deck on... Like, it's sold out pretty quick today, man. I have my kids' football lessons in the morning on a Saturday. So, like, we did the kids' football lessons, and that finishes like an hour after pre-order opens. I came home and I went on to Element Games to order my cards, and they were already saying that they wouldn't be with me till August. I was like, oh my god. So, Games Workshop, I feel like, keep having, like, every new release, 40k release, I feel like has stock issues. Would that be fair to say? Is that a thing that other people feel? We have stock issues every release? I'm sorry you didn't get what you wanted, Jason. It's tough when that happens, man. Yeah, you would think in terms of cards, they could know how many cards they're going to sell and print the right number, right? HMS Hammer says it's impossible to get the mission deck. Was it difficult to get the mission deck in America as well, yeah?
I have awoken.
What melee would we put into Stormlance? That's a good question, Mars. I think the answer, like, the thing about Stormlance, right, is everything gets advance and charge. So we've got speed. I mean, we maybe even have speed on, like, units on foot. Right? So I think what you would need in Stormlance, and I could be completely off base here, but I think for Stormlance, I kind of feel like anything that can have a chaplain attached. Because I think you do have one stratagem that's going to give you Lance, Bear in mind, I've never played Stormlance yet. But I think you've got one stratagem that will give you Lance. So if you're going to run a melee heavy army in Stormlance, your other units are going to need chaplains. Because they're going to need +1 to wound, because their strength is not going to be great. So I think that's probably what I would be thinking. Hello Hadley, good evening. Mars, thank you so much for 40 months of membership, dude. That's insane. I appreciate that. Crazily appreciate it, dude. 40 months ago is so long. Like that I think my channel is only... I'm trying to think how old the channel actually is. I think the channel is only probably about 50 months old. August this year, the channel will be 5 years old. So I guess it's 60. So you've been here with me for over 2/3 of the time. Thank you, Mars. I can't thank you subscribers enough, dude. Honestly, thank you. If you guys didn't all subscribe, I'd be like working another job in like I was gonna say like not Pizza Hut, but you know, like some sort of second job making pizzas or delivering pizzas to. So I appreciate it. You let me do what I love. Thank you so much. Do you know, there's not a lot of difference between Celestia Grey. I don't know how well you can see that on my palette, but this one here is Celestra Grey, and this one here, which is super similar, is Grey Seer. I mean, there is a difference, but like, there's not a lot of difference in those two. Jason, 36 months of membership. I fell asleep in the US, woke back up at 5 AM and all the major So why in the US do all the pre-orders go out at midnight? Because here in the UK it's like 10 AM. 10 AM seems more civilized, right? You know, it's like that quote from Star Wars, like, so uncivilized. You in America, you are so uncivilized when it comes to pre-orders. What is it about pre-orders at midnight? Who wants to be doing that? At midnight, I want to be brushing my teeth and going to bed. But I guess that's just the way it's... Is that just the way it's always been? American pre-orders are at midnight. I never really thought about it or asked, why is it different? It's not our nature to queue up. I mean, I don't think I've ever queued up at 10 AM at a game. Oh no, I've done it one time. Okay, I think I've done it once. I've queued up at a Games Workshop at like 10 AM for the model I queued up for was that Primaris captain when Primaris Marines were just coming out, and there was that, like, he was a store exclusive. He was the captain that was like based on that second edition box art, where it was like the plasma pistol and the power fist Primaris captain. So I think that's the only time I've ever queued up for like a Games Workshop opening to get my like store exclusive model. I think I was lucky enough to get cards. Like I ordered it from my friendly local gaming store, and they like sent me like a confirmation saying that I've got them. But I mean, I'm not 100% convinced I'm getting them. Campbell says, anyone wants some Reavers? Hello Campbell. What are you doing with the Hounds of Mordecai now? You must have a lot of Reavers then. So for anyone that didn't know, the Hounds of Mordecai were a Space Wolf Primaris unit that were based on Reavers, and they have been moved to Legends which is crazy because they're probably only like 2 or 3 years old at best. Is that right? Maybe slightly more, but I feel like, so I feel like ever since COVID, my perception of time has been completely off, right? Like, I remember things and be like, oh my god, that wasn't then, because like COVID has like warped my perception of time. But I would say that there's no way those Hounds of Mordecai are older than 3 years, I would say. I wonder if you can just type in on Google Warhammer community Hounds of Mordecai. How do you spell that again? Morkai? I wonder if there was a, you know, like a, okay, 27th of October 2020 is when it was put on the Warhammer wiki. Warhammer community, here you go, look. So Warhammer community Wolftime beckons new Space Wolves, 27th of October. So this unit, the Hounds of Mordecai, got put into Legends 4 years, 6 months. That's how long that unit existed. I hate that. Just for the record, I absolutely hate that. You know, you spent your good hard-earned money on that unit, 4 years it gets squatted. So yeah, pour one out for Cambo tonight, because he has just lost his unit, and I guess anyone else that played Space Wolves and got on board of those Hounds of Mordecai also just lost. Yeah, that's rough, man. I don't think any unit should only have a shelf life of 4 years. Like, yeah, I just don't agree with that. Evening, Marius. How you doing? Marius, don't tell what I've done today. So I was at a GT with Marius last weekend. We had lunch together. Marius actually fought that list with, it was the 6 norms. So it was like 3 Norn emissaries, 3 Norn assimilators. It was kind of funny because the night before he played that game, he's like messaging me. He's like, John, my first game, I have to play that list that had the 6 norms in it. I was like, oh my god, you're playing that? Well, rather you than me, I guess. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna deal with it. So it was kind of funny. We're like talking about like, all right, this is what you should do if you're playing against 6 norms. And it must have worked a little bit, right? Because you brought home the W that game, which is good. Cambo says they were bad, but they were mine. I hear you, Cambo. I feel sorry for you. Anyone know when the next reveal show is? I mean, just ask Valrak, dude. He's been streaming everything this week. Reveal shows, Horus Heresy. What else did he stream? The Warhammer Skulls thing. Valrak's been on it. Holy Grail becomes a new member to Company Veteran. Holy Grail, thank you so much for supporting the channel. You are a legend. I'm really appreciative of it. You get access to our members only Discord. You get access to the you get access to the Discord and also the members only room. So please consider using that. Come over, join us in the members only room. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, dude. You also get priority on Army List show, which is every Sunday night. We go through community submitted army lists. There's a lot of demand for that, so as a channel member you get priority on the show as well. So if you've got a list you want me to look at, give you my 2 cents on it for whatever they may be worth, you get priority on that as well. So dude, thanks for becoming a member. Evening VT, how you do? How you doing? I'm glad the content's been helpful, dude. I appreciate it. Gabino says, I've played a lot of games with the Stormraven this edition. How did you get on? Because I don't think I've played my Stormraven one time. I mean, it's not really been battle ready, or it's not really been... I think last time I played this thing, it was even more unpainted, if you can believe that, and I played it in 9th edition and felt it was super underwhelming and never played it again. Played it one time. Hadley's played it once with Gabriel Seth. Let's pour one out for Gabriel Seth tonight. Oh my goodness. Oh, dude, I'd recovered for the GT last Sunday night when I got home. I'll tell you what I do find. Ridgecraft, thank you so much for becoming a member as well. Dude, we're getting the memberships tonight. I'm loving it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Apparently my membership goal isn't updating, but I do really appreciate it. Same thing goes, please come over onto the members only Discord. Get your asses in there. Do you know what I find is game 5 for me at a GT, even if I'm like crazy rested, I always make a mistake or two, like a critical mistake or two. Because I did it in the GT last summer when I was lucky enough to win the GT. I very nearly didn't win the GT because I very nearly forgot to bring in a unit of jump intercessors I had in reserve. I just forgot about them because it was like game 5, I guess, and my brain is like 5 games in 2 days for me, I guess, is a lot. Because in the game against Andrew, in the very end of the game, I had like a play I could have made. Can't remember exactly what it is now. I'm sure I'll mention it when I break the games down in a video. But I had this play that I could have... Oh, that was it, right? I needed to do like an action in his deployment zone. And it was that map where the deployment zone stretches the entire way across your side of the table. But like when I was looking for a place to put my it wasn't scouts. No, it was scouts. Yeah, I was looking for a place in his DZ to put my scouts in. I was just like his DZ stretched the whole area of the table. I was just looking at half. You know, like I was thinking in my head, it was like, oh, deployment zones are like a quarter of the board. So I was only looking in one half of the board. So I ended up having to place my scouts in a position where they could get killed. And obviously if they get killed, they can't do the action and I lose points and Andrew gains points, and it was such a close game against the World Eaters. I actually ended up winning the game 90 to 86. Like, we were both scoring really well. And obviously me and Andrew had played each other basically the exact same lists like a week before on the live stream, so we kind of knew exactly what each other was going to try and do. And it was such a close game. And like it was only after the game I was like, oh my god, I could have placed those scouts on the other side of the table, where they'd been totally fine, by the way, because he didn't have anything over that side of the table, because, you know, we'd annihilated each other's armies to a certain extent. And I was just like, I just wasn't looking at that side of the table at all. I was just like, oh, that's his deployment zone. So I got somewhat lucky to win that game, but like, yeah, I feel like in game 5, man, in 2 days, my brain just struggles with, like, I feel like by game 5, I'm ready. Like, there's just a mistake in my play or something, right? Like, it's just waiting to rear its ugly head, and it feels like there's not much I can do about it, because, so like, I guess the first day I got up at like 6:30, which is a little bit earlier than normal, but it's not a big deal. I can get up at 6:30. I drove to the tournament, which was like an hour and a half, play my 3 games, drive home, and I was kind of beat. I went to bed at like 10 p.m. I normally go to bed at like midnight. Hadley says, I'm hoping for a bye game 3. Honestly, the second day I'm delirious. Yeah, so like what I'm saying, I guess, is like, so first day, 3 games, all good. 1, 2 out of the 3. The one that I lost was like this knight's pressure list that I just didn't deal with. And then because I had to drive home again, I was kind of tired, so I went to bed super early. Went to bed at like 10 p.m. Woke up totally fine. The second day started a bit later, so woke up, let's say, at like 7. So I've had like 9 hours sleep. That's more than I ever normally sleep. I normally sleep like 7. On a work day, I go to bed at midnight, I wake up at 7. So I slept for an extra 2 hours, so I was feeling super fresh. Got into the event nice and early, had a coffee, had some breakfast, everything's rosy, but I still managed to make mistakes in game 5 of day 2. And I don't know if I can get that out of my game, because it just keeps happening, right? And I don't know, like, you know, say you like a new video game comes out, right? Like, and you're super excited, right? Like, the game I'm playing at the moment is God of War Ragnarok, right? Like, I've been playing that. I honestly did a stream like 2 years ago, or I think I got God of War Ragnarok when it's come out. God of War Ragnarok release date. I think I even pre-ordered it, right? Okay, so God of War Ragnarok is like 2 years, 9 months old, right? So like I guess that just shows how I like video games, but I don't get to play them as much as maybe other people do, or I don't prioritize playing video. That's probably the way to put it, right? I prioritize doing Warhammer, I prioritize this YouTube channel, I prioritize going to the gym. But I like video games, same as everyone else. But like, I feel like, let's just say for example I didn't have the kids for a whole day. I feel like I would be very excited to play God of War, because I'm like, oh cool, I'll get a bit further in God of War. But like by lunchtime, maybe I don't care so much. It's like, oh, I've played God of War for 3 hours. I'm ready to do something else now, right? Jason, you remember that stream? Yeah, it's ages ago, right? Like I'm still trying to 100% God of War, and I really want to 100% it because I've got a couple of other PlayStation 5 games in the 2.5 years that I want to play, but I want to finish God of War first, right? And I like God of War. I think it's a great game. In fact, it's probably, like, I've played all the God of Wars all the way back to like PlayStation 1. I think it's probably one of my favourite series. Mario says, yeah, you disappeared super quick both days. I tried to say cheerio, but you scarpered. Well, I actually had to drive miles home, Marius, and he lives, like, that adds another half an hour to my journey to get home. And I think on the first day I had a bit of a headache coming on, and the second day I just wanted to get home because it was like, you know, I just wanted to get home and hopefully see the kids before bedtime or something. So sorry I didn't manage to say goodbye to you properly. That's probably always going to happen with me, right? Like, I always seem to get a headache as well on day one, regardless of what you know, like, I make sure to get plenty water, I make sure to get plenty caffeine, I make sure that I'm eating and everything, you know, like, and I make sure to go to bed early the night before the event, and I still get a bloody headache. Now I just take paracetamol with me to events, because I've learned that apparently, yeah, so Ridgecraft, I wonder if it's something like that, right? Like, so I go to an event, and I'm like super hyped, like, cool, this is my first event, I get, you know, and I play really, really well the first few games, and I get some wins under my belt, and see if you win, like, for example, right, like, I didn't like, I went to this event, I didn't like my Angelic Inheritors list, right? Like, I'm like, I don't like this, I don't know if I like this list. This list is carried by the Vindicator tanks. I also don't particularly like shooting lists. I like playing melee armies. So if my army relies on a lot of shooting, which I feel like Angelic Inheritors does, I probably am going to like it. So I went to this event, like, feeling like, I don't know if I like my list. But then, like, you win your first game. It was the mirror match against Blood Angels, my first game. So I'm Angelic Inheritors, he's Liberator Assault Group. I win that game. I feel pretty good about myself, right? Because everybody on the channel has been saying for months now, John, you need to stop playing Angelic Inheritors, you need to play Liberator Assault Group. And I was like, right, well, I've actually got all those, I've actually got that, like, I've made slides from the photos of that game of like how I played against Liberator Assault Group, and honestly, dude, it's not pretty. Like, I basically tabled that guy in 2 turns. Like, Liberator Assault Group just does not have... If you're playing the super expensive Blood Angels units, like Sangre Guard and stuff, you just don't have durability. And, but, you know, like, so I played that game, and I won the game, and I was worried about that game before I was going in, because, like, I was like, well, if I lose to Liberator Assault Group, then everybody that watches the channel is right, and I'm wrong. And I jokingly said to my opponent, like, if you beat me, then I guess I just got to hand you the reins of the YouTube channel, and you are the new Blood Angels commander. You know, like, I'm trying to be friendly with the guy, and we're kind of joking about a bit. And honestly, he was one of the best opponents. Was he the best opponent in that event? Yeah, do you know what? Because I play Andrew a lot. Andrew is a great opponent. Don't get me wrong, like, I really enjoyed my game against Andrew. But in terms of like new people that had never played before, the Liberator Assault Group Blood Angels guy that I played against, I'm going to go out on a whim and say he was my best opponent at that event. He was a very, you know, like, everything was totally fine. It was a fun game. We tried really hard, but we were both very fair, you know, and he actually did really, really well afterwards. Like, I think he won, he still went 3-2, even after losing to me in the first game, and he was right behind me in the rankings. I think I finished 13th in that event, and I think he finished like 15th. So he'd like made up for that loss, which was a pretty rough loss, honestly. Like I really outscored him. I think it was like 79 to 40, 45 or something. Like, it was a rough loss. So he did really well to make it up. But yeah, so I played that first game, and I won that first game, right? I didn't realise the Undisputed Blood Angels Commander title was up. Yeah, well, do you know what? That's a good point. I need like a belt. And then if I'm playing at a tournament and I come up against a Blood Angels player, we can hang the belt next to the table and be like, and I can be like, you know, the Undisputed Blood Angels Commander title is on the line here. I must admit, Hadley, I am very much into WWE wrestling at the moment. I've been out of it for like 20 years, but now it's all on Netflix. I've been watching it with my kids, and we're loving it. Do I think the Blood Angels player had a bad list? No, he had 15 Sangre Guard, 2 units of Jump Intercessors. He had Dante, Mephiston, the Sanguinor. What else did he have? A Lancer, a Ballistus, Scouts. Like, it was all meta stuff he had. So anyway, we played this first game. Same bro, Cody Rhodes? No, Joe Hendry, man. That's where I'm at the moment. Give me some Joe Hendry. But no, I've very much been enjoying. I think I'm very much into Randy Orton at the moment as well. Anyway, off wrestling, back to 40k. So, played that first game. Felt really happy that I'd won against the Blood Angels, and like all feelings of my list is bad are out the window now, right? Because like I've played Blood Angels, I've played the detachment that everybody's been telling me that I should be playing, and I've beaten it, and I've beaten it well. So I was like, all right, cool. I've beat that detachment well. Things feel great. So next game I line up and I'm playing Custodes, and I have not played Custodes in what feels like forever. I feel like I played them in a tournament at the end of 9th edition, and my melee got... You know how sometimes when you charge Custodes, you just bounce off them super hard? I feel like that's what happened last time I played Custodes. I charged them, I bounced off them super hard all over the place. This was back when like Blood Angels had like billions of Infernal Pistols, and I just got absolutely rocked. So I was like, okay, I haven't played Custodes in, let's say, 3 years, so I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this matchup. And as we're like deploying our armies, I think the guy's name, I want to say it was Kenneth, someone walks over and was like, oh John, you're playing Kenneth. This will be a real... The guy, like, I'm ad-libbing a bit here, right? Because it was like 2 weeks ago. But the guy's like, this will be a really good game for you because Kenneth is one of our best Custodes players. Or maybe even said, like, Kenneth is our best Custodes player. And I'm like, oh, shit, right? Like, game 2, I'm coming up against the best Custodes player these guys have in their club. And this is like the I think they said it was like the third or fourth largest GT in Scotland. So I was like, okay, right, like, so I gotta play, like, I haven't played Custodes in ages. I gotta play this guy who obviously knows his stuff. How long do games take on average at events? So sometimes they split the time. So they give 2 hours 45, and if you're using a chess clock, then each player gets 1 hour 22.5 minutes for their time. So realistically that boils down to something like 15 minutes a round, with like 5 minutes leeway. Bearing in mind obviously the earlier rounds can go a bit faster, but if your opponent wants to use a chess clock, you have to use a chess clock. Like if either of the players want to use a clock, then you're on the clock. If you run out of time on the clock, all you can do is make saving throws. You can't move any models, you can't shoot anything, you can't charge anything. I don't even know if you can fight back if you are charged. I just know that you are out of time, and you can only make saves. So here's the thing though, right? Like I was in an event in January and I was playing Imperial Guard, and the Guard player had like 150 guardsmen on the table. I've got like 30 Space Marines, you know? So it's like at some point in turn 4 or 5, he was basically out of time. Probably like at the start of turn 5, he would have been out of time. But I still had like 20 minutes left and I didn't need them. And like I was looking at the board and it was like, even if I just say to him like, you can't do anything because you're out of time, he's probably still winning the game. So I was like, you are out of time, but I'm okay with you having some of my time. Let's just play through turn 5, right? So like, I feel like, yeah, if the opponent is playing normally and there's nothing going on and everything seems kosher, I feel like it's maybe a little bit of a dick move to just be like, aha, you know, I have 10 minutes left, you have no minutes left, you know, and you do want to do your final turn because you do want to score your points, but I'm just going to not let you, right? Like, I could do that, but I guess that's not me, right? Maybe if it was like the top table of the biggest event in the year and the guy had been really difficult to play against or something, I don't know. But like, in the event I was in January, I was like, the guy's probably going to beat me. He's out of time, but I've got loads of time left, so why am I being a dick about this? Like, so yeah, I guess play that however it may be. But anyway, so I'm lined up against this Custodes player second, and I smashed him. Like, I absolutely smashed him. Mainly because one of the Vindicator tanks just decided to destroy an entire unit in turn 1. And I was like, oh my god, like, that Vindicator tank has just killed like 500 points of models in one turn. It's ridiculous. Vindicator tanks they're kind of broken, right? Like, they either just go, they either do nothing or they just pop off insanely. Like, I feel like Vindicator tanks should be normalized. Like, get away from D6 damage, get away from D6 shots, just give it like flat 3 damage, flat 3 shots or something. Just make it like a normal tank that people can actually use and they can actually balance it, as opposed to like, oh, it just destroyed an entire 500 point unit, or the opposite side is like, it just did nothing. And in this event, both things happened, right? But like, so I'm playing against like this really difficult Custode player, and my Vindicator just goes like, I don't even know how many saves he had to take, dude. Like, it was disgusting. It was like, oh, because, so I've got the Vindicator tank that shoots his wardens. There's like a 6-man squad. So I get D3, sorry, 3 plus 1 from blast, D6, right? So honestly, I rolled a 5 or a 6. So I'm starting on like 9 shots. And I've got sustained hits and I'm re-rolling everything. And I honestly think I roll like 4 6s or something. So all of a sudden he's taking like 14 or 15 saves, I think it was, at AP3. And he just absolutely fluffs them. So he fails like 10 saves. He fails like 10 4-up saves. So it's like, okay, I just get to roll 10 d6 damage, and every time I get to 4, that's a dead model for your army. And I honestly start by rolling like 4 5 6 6 or something. Like, I just obliterated his squad, absolutely obliterated it, and like I still had like 5 more damage rolls to make against his character. And I mean, the Custode characters are strong, don't get me wrong, they got like 8 wounds. But I've got fucking 5d6 damage against it. Your 8 wounds, it doesn't really mean all that much against 5d6 damage, right? Like, so I blow up his character as well. And it was just like... it was just like... That's absolutely disgusting. So, like, honestly, in the very first turn against the Custodes player, who I've just been told is, like, one of the best Custodes players they have, I'm like... I'm not thinking, oh, this game's over. But I'm thinking, like... I should win this game, right? Like, I am so far ahead because I've just blown off like a whole unit of Custodian Wardens. I don't even know the name of the unit, but I know how expensive they are, right? I've just blown away a whole squad of guys plus the character, and then that was just from one tank. I've now got a Land Raider, I've got a Ballistic Dreadnought, and another tank, and it even managed to come around with my bikers to just add insult to injury, and I've got all them to shoot another squad. I was like, yeah, like, this is bonkers. So then, going into game 3 of the event, I'm like feeling great. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like, so I guess, like, you go into the event, what I'm trying to say is, like, you go into the event, you get that first win, and you snowball maybe into another win, and then everything's going great, and you're loving playing 40k, but at some point, it's hard to maintain that, I guess. And game 5 on day 2 just seems like... Yeah, I mean, or maybe other people feel this as well. But I feel like when I get to game 5 on day 2, luck is a serious factor, right? Like, I need luck on day 2. Frank says I haven't watched wrestling since WWF and Stone Cold was still wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I haven't watched a WrestleMania in like 15 years. But, I mean, they put it on Netflix and they made it all free, I guess. So I've been doing it. Ridgecraft says, I usually finish 2-3, maybe 3-2 on occasion, but I go to GTs to have a laugh. Really can't keep up with the meta, the kids, the wife and work. Yeah, I think that's probably where I am as well, honestly, Ridgecraft. I can't keep up with the meta. The, you know, work life, doing the YouTube videos. But it is nice to try and get that 4-in-1. It is really nice to occasionally do better than that. But I'm trying to think, like, in the last 10 GTs that I've been at, I've probably gone 3-2 like 7 times. I've gone 4-1 twice, and I've gone 5-0 once. So I am like, on average at a GT, I would say that I'm a 3-2 player. And I actually think it's like you said, it's really hard to be better than 3 or 2 unless you're dedicating a lot of time to Warhammer 40k. And, you know, I dedicate a fair amount of time to it. But, like, you know, knowing your enemy is sometimes as important as knowing your own army. If not more so, I would say. And that's probably what lets me down, because I don't... Like, I know the shit out of Blood Angels. Like, I could tell you every stratagem off the back of my hand. I can tell you the enhancements. I can tell you probably every Blood Angels unit's profiles. But I come up against armies that I'm just not familiar playing with, and I don't know anything about them, and that's the missing piece for me. And I don't think I'll ever be that player. Like, I don't know if I would... I'm not ready to commit that amount of my life to knowing Warhammer, I guess. Some people do it. Is it a flyer? I mean, no, it's a chicken. Hello, Cotton, how are you? That's a Red Dwarf joke. If you've never watched Red Dwarf, you should watch it. Because it's honestly, it's one of my favourite programmes. I haven't watched it in years. I need to get back to watching it. With some time after the tournament, what do you think about the detachment? So, what do you think about the detachments, flag or angelic inheritors? Like that, I literally put out like a 41-minute video yesterday morning, Gabino, about probably how I feel about the detachments. I mean, I broke everything down. That video is probably more, I'll be more in depth than me trying to tell you off the top of my head right now, because I actually made slides and I actually thought about it, and I think Angelic Inheritors is a strong detachment. I think it's not for me. I don't really want to keep playing it. I don't like the lack of strength the melee has in it. I think that's my main gripe with it. Liberator Assault Group. You know, I've played Liberator Assault Group for a while. I've played various Liberator Assault Group lists. Red Dwarf is amazing. That is from an episode of Red Dwarf, right? Because he's like, Lister, is this a something? And he's like, no, Rimmer, it's a chicken. Do you remember that episode? I can't think what it is. No, Rimmer, it's a chicken. I must have not, I've not watched Red Dwarf, like, start to finish, I haven't watched Red Dwarf in like 20, 25 years. But honestly, it is probably one of my all-time favourite shows. Yeah, I mean, Liberator Assault Group, I feel like I'd be more likely to play at a tournament. But I think what I don't like about Liberator Assault Group is, like, you're better off with all the cheap Space Marine units than the Blood Angels units. Yeah, I think my problem at the moment is just, like, the Blood Angels Codex this edition. I mean, that's the problem, right? The Blood Angels Codex this edition. That's the bottom line. That is my problem with 40k right now. I think the Codex this edition was a miss in various different ways. But the points and the lack of competitive units in that book, I think, is massively my problem. So yeah, I mean, I'll play, if I have to, I'll end up, like, I'm going to another GT in 10 weeks. Or I think it was 11 weeks. So worst case, I'll probably fall back on Liberator Assault Group. If I have to go, and I have to go play Liberator Assault Group, I'm probably going to play 18 Blade Guard. Because they're cheap as crap right now, and that's what everybody's using to win tournaments with Liberator Assault Group. And don't let me kid you, as much as I like to sit here and say, like, oh, I want to go to tournaments to have fun, I will 100% take the strongest fucking list that I possibly can, because I like to win, and I like to beat the plastic crackheads. I was very, very, very happy to finish above Colin, considering how much he'd been going on about how great the new Death Guard rules were. So I felt very happy to finish above him in the tournament. So happy. So happy indeed. Let me show you this. Let me see if I can show you. Like, so happy that I am actually an admin on the Plastic Crackheads YouTube channel, right? Plastic Crackheads, yeah. So I went over to their YouTube channel, because I'm an admin on their channel, and I posted for the first time in, like, they haven't posted to their community page for like a year. I just posted the tournament rankings here of, like, me 13th, Colin 14th, and, like, I didn't tell them that I was posting it. I just posted it over on their channel. I thought about it for like a little while as well. I was like, I can't do that. I can't post on their channel. I actually even spoke to my wife and said, like, you know, Colin was banging on about how great Death Guard are, and I've beaten him in this tournament, and my wife's like, oh, well done. And I was like, thanks. I was like, I've got admin to their YouTube channel. I'm gonna, and like, the sadistic part of me came out, you know, like, when the Emperor at the end, he's like, good, you know, like, strike him down. So, like, the troll part of me was like, I'm gonna post on their channel, because Colin has not shut up about how great Death Guard are. And I was like, and I've beaten him at this tournament, even after he, you know, on the run. You guys don't see the WhatsApp group we've got, but like those guys, you know, they're totally like, oh yeah, Death Guard are totally balanced, everything's fine, nothing's overcosted, you Blood Angels tears, you know, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, I just was like, whatever. And then I just went over to their channel and posted, don't hate the, you know, don't hate the player, hate the, what is it they say? Don't hate the player, hate the game? I don't know. I'm old. Tron says, I'm hobbying along this afternoon, just magnetizing the bases for my Sangre Guard. Happy Saturday, Tronbot. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. To spend the amount of time needed to go 4-1 regularly, it stops being a hobby and more of a job. Sometimes you can go 4-1 with a little bit of luck, or something unorthodox, right? I don't think it's that I don't feel the detachments, VT. I think it's that there's too few choices from our codex for the detachments, maybe. So the first week in June, what do you want to see happen? I would like to see Death Company become relevant. There's 6 Death Company datasheets in the codex. I would like half of them to be relevant. Would that be too much to ask? Because at the moment I feel like 0 of them are relevant. And I'd probably also like some changes to our characters to make them more relevant too. I don't know. Foot slogging, Blade Guard, or transports. If I was going to run 18, I'd probably end up having to foot slog some of them. But yeah, some of them I think would be an impulsor for sure. Out of the Space Marine Codex supplements, what would you say the most and least competitive is? Least competitive. Oh, I don't know. I feel like it would be Firestorm. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone win a tournament with Firestorm. I don't think I've seen anyone win a tournament with the Anvil C. Oh, First Company. It's First Company veterans, dude. Why didn't I think of that? Nobody plays First Company veterans. They're terrible. They are at 100% the worst detachment. They're so bad that I completely forgot they even existed. Yeah. First Company veterans are by far the worst, or whatever it is, whatever the detachment is for the, you know, once per game you get to reroll wounds and Oath the Moment. Whoop-de-doo. That's by far the worst detachment, I think, 100%. And then best detachment is probably, I mean, it's probably the versatility of Gladius, or at least it was. I don't know how often Gladius wins tournaments now. I mean, it definitely won them at the start of the edition. Maybe Iron Storm is more popular. I'm not super familiar with win rates on those other detachments, I must admit. Chapter-specific units should just be better options than the basic versions, regardless of chapter, says Phil. Well, they should be at least equal, right, Phil? Like, there should not be a situation where you want to take Jump Intercessors over Sangre Guard or Death Company. But that's the situation we are in. Like, if those are not... If those units are at least not equal, then why even have those units? I think that's my point. Yeah, First Company veterans. Nobody. First Company. Or maybe they're. Was it just called First Company? I don't know. I've never even considered running First Company. I think it's that bad. It's one of those weird detachments, right? Like, in a sense, it's a bit like the Lost Brethren detachment. It's like, the second we read that detachment on paper, right? Like, I'm sure you guys were on a stream with me way back when the Blood Angels Codex came out, and we read the rules for the Lost Brethren detachment, and we're like, oh yeah, that doesn't seem like it's going to be competitive at all. Like, how do you even play that detachment? That detachment just, quote-unquote, or borderline, probably doesn't even work. And like, I feel like that would have happened, you know, with that sorry, with the first company detachment, right? Like it just doesn't work, right? It's like, no one's playing this. Its rules really only good for one turn in the entire game. Like, no one really knows how to build a list for it. No one really knows why it would be all that strong. But then it's just left to, like, essentially, like, it's just left to rot for, I mean, the Space Marine Codex has been out for like almost 2 years. Probably maybe even 2 years by now, right? It's just like, why have we got a detachment that, like, no one, if no one is playing it in 2 years, or like, you know, like, I bet you if they look at like tournament breakdowns, it'll be like 1%. So it's like some random ass guy is running it, but no one else is seeing value in it. Like, at that point, why do we even, why is that not thought about? Why is that not rebalanced? I think that might be my biggest complaint with 10th edition, is like, why are detachments that are obviously uncompetitive, that do not get any play, why are they just left? Go for it, painting, good evening. Why do Space Wolves get their firstborn dreadnoughts and Blood Angels don't get our firstborn dreadnoughts? I mean, that is a very good question. I don't have an answer for you. You know that I don't have an answer for you. Do I think it's unfair? Yes. Because I was right before I came on stream, I was actually looking for these two las cannons, because the las cannons on this Stormraven I've never attached. Like, I haven't glued them on, because you know, back then I wasn't sure if I wanted las cannons or plasma cannons or whatever. So because I hadn't glued them on, I was looking for them, and when I was looking for them, I came into a drawer and I opened the drawer, and inside that drawer I've got like 5 firstborn dreadnoughts, all of which I guess are legends now. An ironclad dreadnought that's damn near complete, a librarian dreadnought that's complete, a death company dreadnought that's damn near complete, a furioso dreadnought. There's like, yeah. Well, I don't love all the legends changes, and I don't love the fact that detachments get left uncompetitive for multiple years. There's a stock room full of Space Wolf dreadnoughts that they need to shift. Well, that was just the thing. Like, I don't know if you were here, Robert, when I did the Space Wolf stream on Wednesday night. But like, I guess my point for this for the Space Wolves is like, would it feel safe to go and buy dreadnoughts now for Space Wolves, firstborn dreadnoughts? Like, does that feel quote unquote safe? You know, because like, is there a chance those firstborn dreadnoughts could just get legends still in 11th edition? You know, like I just wish that we had clarity on when stuff would go to legends, and I just wish that I knew, you know, what the plan was. Like, why do they get to keep their firstborn dreadnoughts? And some of their firstborn dreadnoughts got pretty cool rules. Bjorn's a beast, man. His fucking gun is flat 5 damage. I was like looking at it, I was like, oh my god. What Space Marine gun on like a little 150 point, maybe 160 point dreadnought gets flat 5 damage? What's that all about? They just released new detachments, they don't fix the old ones. What's the point in the old ones if they don't get fixed then, dude? It wouldn't even take long to fix them, right? They fixed they fixed Death Guard last edition when their detachment was dog shit. Kill Team has a chart for the next year showing what's coming out. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to necessarily know what's coming out. I just want to know what I've got that's safe to buy, right? I mean, I'm fortunate that I own quite a lot of the old models and stuff, but like, you know, there's definitely like a worry there about buying stuff that's going to go to Legends or whatever. So a summer hit for everybody then. I still wouldn't buy Firstborn, says Phil. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the thing though, Phil, is like, I just wish we had clarity. But yeah, so I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to do something like out of left field, so to speak. I'm going to do something weird, I think. Maybe it's going to be Stormlance. Hey Pana, good evening. There was a list like maybe 6 months ago or something. Maybe it's a little bit more than 6 months ago, where someone did it was like a crap load of dreadnoughts and Mephiston as the warlord. And I was like, I haven't really managed to play Mephiston competitive this edition. I usually always end up playing Mephiston at some point in competitive lists each edition. He always seems to let me down in tournaments. He always seems to be unreliable, but I do always seem to manage to do an event each edition with Mephiston, like as my warlord or as part of my strategy. Sorry. So like part of me thinks like 10 dreadnoughts plus Mephiston, it's not going to be the most competitive thing in the world. Like, I know that. Is it going to be fun? Probably pretty fun, right? Is there some armies that would really be scared lining up against Mephiston and 10 dreadnoughts? Yeah, probably. What red are you using? Oh, well, I usually use Evil Sun Scarlet for my red. But this tank, or this Stormraven, was honestly painted 16 or 17 years ago. So I think this one uses a I think this is honestly, like the base coat of this will be a discontinued paint called Blood Red, which was a paint that like preceded Mephiston Red and Evil Sun Scarlet. But my normal red is Evil Sun Scarlet, which I thought was very close to Blood Red. Look, we'll do a quick test, right? Here's Evil Sun Scarlet. We just slap a little bit on. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to tidy up some of this model anyway with Evils, because usually that's how things go. So here's a bit of Evil Sun Red. It is a bit brighter, but it will probably darken down a bit as it dries. So let me just paint the bottom of that trim there. Come on, camera, focus. Yeah, I think when that dries it's going to be super similar, but like I said, I'm pretty sure this tank was actually painted with Blood Red, which is... like, I don't even have my paint pot of Blood Red anymore. All my old paints had gone hard, you know? Because I had like a 8 or 9 year break from the hobby, and the paints that I had just sat in my basement or my cellar for like 8 years. What do you recommend me buying for my first purchase? Probably the Blood Angels Combat Patrol, dude. I mean, I think it's every model in the Combat Patrol is a new Primaris model. So I think at some point they will all probably be quite competitive. they're not the most horrible in terms of competitive right now. It's a good place to start. Lets you paint some models in gold, lets you paint some models in red. So I probably think I would still. I much prefer the Combat Patrol this edition than I did last edition. I think it's much better for Blood Angels. Because I think last edition a lot of people talked about like, oh, you want to buy the Dark Angels Combat Patrol for Blood Angels, which is a bit weird, but it was definitely seen as like more competitive or something. Don't worry, I'm sure Black Templars will be worse. Will they? Black Templars have one of the lowest win rates in the game right now, don't they? I think that Blood Angels originally were much brighter in terms of red, right? Like if you go back, let me think for a second. Where's my book? Like, this is 8th edition Blood Angels, right? And this is what you've got. This sort of like reasonably bright red. Not too bad, right? Then you go back to like 2nd edition Blood Angels, and this is what you've got. Bright AF red. Back when there was no Sangre Guard, Dante just got attached to an assault squad. Oh, look at this dreadnought. It's fucking lovely. Look at that bright red. Look at the whirlwind. Beautiful. That's what you want. Let me see if there's another picture. Oh yeah, look at these guys. How... I mean, these Assault Marines with these yellow trims on them. I don't even remember ever seeing an Assault Marine with that yellow trim on them, but sexy. Right? Look, that's cool. The guy with the Devastator, the guy with the las cannon, in his other hand, he's got a knife. He ain't messing around. You know, they don't do it like this in the Primaris, do they? In Primaris, if you have a rocket launcher, you ain't allowed a knife. The OG, the original, the OG guy is like, I may have a las cannon, but I'm still gonna stab you in the face with my knife. And I'm gonna do it while wearing bright red armor and looking dope. How can you beat that? I don't think you can beat that, right? I wish I could play my whirlwinds. Yeah, I think Iron Storm or Gilliman got the whirlwinds nerfed, didn't we? It's always the Ultramarines, or it's always the Iron Storm getting all of our toys nerfed. We never get our toys nerfed. Man, I forgot that the OG guy even had a knife in his hand. That second, I bought a pristine copy of that 2nd edition book off eBay just because I wanted it, because I had the original. And my original is beat up, by the way. So I just bought like a pristine one off eBay to have. To have and to hold. It's like I got married to it. Robert, who said it was eye cancer? Flowbrain said it's eye cancer with Goblin Green. Man, I don't know if I love the Goblin Green bases, but I like the vibrancy of those old models for sure. I mean, that's just what I started the hobby with, right? So there's a degree of nostalgia for me there, right? They weren't doing any shading back in 2nd edition, so the shading is those trims. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't so much shading back then, was there? Alright, I'm just going to slap some quick white coat on these missiles. I'll need a couple of coats to cover up that red, no doubt. I don't think I've done a vehicle as big as this since I've done my falchion, which was like... I think I did my falchion like 5 years ago at this point. At least this vehicle isn't as heavy as the falchion, because the falchion was a nightmare to paint just because it was so fucking heavy. Hannah got that 2nd edition book with his first ever paycheck. Nice. Classic book, man. I always feel like I should go back and read the short stories inside that book. I used to like, you know, the short stories you used to get in the codexes, like the 1 or 2 page ones that were... because back then, like in 2nd edition, I feel like there wasn't a million books to read about the lore, so you used to get the best bits of the lore from the codex. Calawags says, I joined the video late. I was your first opponent on the weekend. It was a fun game, a lot of shenanigans. Dante versus Dante was the wet fish fight. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that we had Dante versus Dante. Calawags, thanks for tuning in, dude. I was talking about our game earlier in the stream, and I've actually got all the photos that I took from the game together. And I've got like a video probably going to come out next week about just focusing on Liberator Assault Group versus Angelic Inheritors. I think so I didn't see you again after our first game, or I mean, like, I didn't have a chance to talk to you at the event, but I saw that you recovered and were like right behind me in the leaderboards, so well done on that, because I don't know, I actually felt like your list was going to be very difficult to play, because I think it comes down to, like, in my opinion, 15 Sangre Guard. They just cost too many points, right? Like, they just die too easy for the number of points you spend on them. 15 Sangre Guard is what, like, you're 130 points for 3. So you're basically spending 260 plus 260 plus 130. Is that right? So you're paying like 650 points for Sangre Guard. And realistically, you only got 15 guys with toughness 4. Like, I genuinely think that, you know, if you're doing Assault Intercessors, you can have 15 guys with toughness 4 for like 200 points. Maybe 250. Yeah, 250. Yeah, so well done on getting back to 3 and 2, Callie, and thanks so much for the game. Sangre Guard is all the way, man. When you don't fill charges, they're beautiful. Yeah, you're a braver man than I am, because I don't know if I would go to an event fielding 15 Sangre Guard. I think they're too expensive to field in that sort of quantity. And don't get me wrong, I like them. I just think they're too expensive to field in that sort of quantity. But yeah, so I've got a video coming this week. Liberator Assault Group versus Angelic Inheritors, like our game. And yeah, I don't think, like, I think I said to you at the time, I don't think you did anything wrong in the game. I actually think it was a good game. I have problems with I have problems with Liberator Assault Group in the Vanguard. Like, I just don't think they're competitive enough. And I yeah. My opinion is probably wrong, but it's my opinion. You know, I'm allowed to be wrong. But no, thanks so much for the game. I was going to say it's Callum, wasn't it? I really did appreciate your game. I thought you were a great opponent. I think I put you down as best sportsman as well. I don't know if I should. Yeah, it's fine to say that now, right? So I think I put you down as best sportsman for our game anyway. And also you had to go first, which I think was bad because neither of us wanted to go first. Don't forget the 2 damage. Yeah, the 2 damage isn't great, is it? Why is the Stormraven getting painted this week? Because I think I'm going to start playing a different detachment, James. I think I'm going to play Stormlands this week. Finally painted my first 1,000-point army. Do I need to buy codexes or go and play, or can I just print from Wapedia? I mean, you don't. You need the rules. However, get the rules is up to you, Gordon. Right? But I mean, it is possible to get all the rules without buying anything. Yes. It depends on how handy you think having the books and stuff is. And I mean, generally, I buy the books every edition. I buy the cards every edition. I do think Games Workshop need a better way to get people to recycle the old books, but then sometimes I like to hang on to the old books as well, you know? Oh, Anton's asking about this. Everybody's asking about the Stormraven. They're like, what the fuck, the Stormraven? So this edition, I did 6 months of Gladius, I did 6 months of Sons of Sanguinius, I did 6 months of Liberator Assault Group, and I've done like 5 months of Angelic Inheritors. Give or take, right? Like, they're all plus or minus 1 month or something. And I've been to a tournament with each one, right? I did 3 and 2 in Gladius, I did 5 and 0 in Sons of Sanguinius, I did 3 and 2 in Lag, and I did 3 and 2 in Angelic Inheritors. So my choices are, and I think the choice that probably made the most sense, right? Like, if I just want to go and win another GT, right? Because let's face it, like, sometimes it would have been really nice to win another GT this year, because if I won one this year, and I possibly have 2 more chances. If I won one this year, for example, then I would have won one last year, and I would have won one this year. And then I feel like that would really help cement me as feeling like I am a good Blood Angels player. Like, I know I'm a decent enough player, right? But like, if I won GTs 2 years in a row, then I feel like that would be important, or that would be cool. Like, I would feel great about that, right? Like, I've only ever won one GT. I felt pretty great after doing it. I've probably I've you know, like, I always talk about that, like, the one time I won the GT or something. Like, it feels good to win a GT. It's fucking hard to do. Like, you know, anyone going to their first tournament, like, just go and have fun, because you need to go like 20 times before you win a GT. Maybe it wasn't the 20th tournament that I was at, but like, I've been going to tournaments now for 10 years. So maybe not 10, but like 8 or 9 or something. So it took 8 years to win a GT. You know? And like, I'm always bringing strong lists to tournaments. Like, I'm not turning up with shit. I mean, sometimes I've turned up with like silly things at the end of the edition when like things aren't so competitive. But for like 9 out of 10 of the GTs I go to, I'm turning up with a list that I want to play to win a GT, right? So like, if I want to win a GT now, right? Let's just say that like my absolute priority is to win a second GT, so I can say I won one last year and I can say I won one this year. What should I play to the next GT? Well, I should play Liberator Assault Group, and I should take no space. I should take no Blood Angels units, and spam out like I should have 18 Blade Guard. I should have 25 or 30 Jump Intercessors. I should have Outriders. I should have Scouts. I should have Ballistus Dreadnoughts or Gladiator tanks. You know, like I should just not, like, all the Blood Angel stuff is probably 10 or 15 points more expensive. I want to win the GT. Usually you win tournaments by having the most efficient units. And I mean, the tournament that I won last year was because I had the most efficient units, right? Like, I took 5 guys, the 5-man Death Company, all with Infernal Pistols, all with Power Fists. I gave them a Chaplain. So that gives me, like, 25 Power Fists, +1 to wound all the time, re-rolling hits all the time, fight on death 100% of the time if I want it, and what else did it give? Mortal wounds every time it activates, and 5 Infernal Pistols that also re-roll to hit. Right, like, that unit was bonkers. I mean, they probably need to change it, sure, but for like 200 points, that's a crazy efficient unit, right? I think it was 140 plus the 75 Chaplain. So for like 215 points, I have 25 Power Fists with +1 to wound at strength 10, re-rolling all hits. Impact Mortals from the Chaplain. Grenades potentially as well if I need them. And 5 Infernal Pistols. So, like, they carried me to a certain extent in that tournament, right? Because they just traded with anything. Fight on death. You've got a fight on death unit? No problem. I'll fight on death. You've got a fight first unit? No problem. I'll fight on, I'll fight. So, like, there was no counter. You charge me, I'll fight on death. You've got a fight first unit, I'll charge you and I'll fight on death anyway. So I'll still kill your whole unit even if you kill me with fight on death. You've got Land Raider or anything like that? Sure, I'll just charge it and blow it up with 25 Power Fists at +1 to wound. You know, like... So right now, we can probably agree that like 6 Blade Guard for 185 points, or 180 points, or... No, 160 points for 6 Blade Guard? Like, I saw 2 Liberator Assault Group events with both, 5-0 Blood Angels. What are they running? They're running 18 Blade Guard. What am I talking about? Yeah, just like 18 Blade Guard. 18 Blade Guard is what? 160 times 3? 480? Like, that's a lot of killing power for 480 points. Especially in Liberator Assault Group where everyone's strength 7. Which is a great breakpoint for killing enemy infantry and also enemy armor. Hello Rezio, good evening. So yeah, so back to my point. I think my point is I could play that Liberator Assault Group. I could say we're going to play Liberator Assault Group. We're going to do crap loads of Blade Guard, crap loads of Jump Intercessors, and I think there's a very real chance that I might still do that. But I think I'm not going to start there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some other detachments for a month and see if I'm having more fun doing that. And if not, then I guess I'll just fall back to quote-unquote meta bloodless Liberator Assault Group. But yeah, I think I'm not really a fan of the bloodless. I just want more of our Blood Angels units to be competitive. Is that so bad a thing to ask? Do you have any contacts with top players? I mean, I've spoken to Jack, who played Blood Angels at LVO a couple of times. I've spoken to a couple of channel members that have done well in tournaments a couple of times, but no, I mean, in general, I'm more of a weekend warrior, right? But I mean, I think I like I can see the problems. Like, I don't need to be playing at the absolute highest level to see the problems with a faction. And I mean, don't get me wrong, right? You can. I'm sure 100% you can win an event using angelic inheritors. You can probably win an event using whatever we call it, Liberator Assault Group without, you know, you can probably win an event using Liberator Assault Group with all the Blood Angels units and just be fine with it. I guess my question is, I only go to an event every 3 months. So do I want to rock up there in 3 months' time with a list where it's like, oh well, maybe I can do something, or would I rather just rock up with a fun list that I've made myself? I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess my main takeaway from this weekend is like, did they have characters with the Blade Guard? I think some of them did have characters with the Blade Guard, like captains and chaplains, but some of them were definitely unled as well. Because here's the thing, 6 Blade Guard unled, they still get to reroll 1s to hit. They still strength 7 on the charge, they can still get lethal hits and lands, so they can still do a fuckload of damage. 30 Blade Guard rerolling 1s to hit with +1 to wound and lethals, you know? Like, they don't always need to have the characters. But yeah, having started this weekend's event with a game against Liberator Assault Group, and in the game against Liberator Assault Group, the guy that I played, Callum, played it really well, right? Like in turn 1 he was on like 2 objectives, and he made it really difficult for me to take one of those objectives away from him with like fight first stuff. Another objective, he had his assault intercessors in a really good position. And I actually kind of forgot that we were playing Fog of War. I mean, that's on me forgetting that we were playing on Fog of War on our first... so I was going to use some core stratagems, like grenades, like tank shock, for example, to take out the unit of assault intercessors, because I had nothing on that side of the board, and then realised that, like, oh crap, we're playing Fog of War. I can't use any core stratagems, so I can't actually do some of the things I wanted to do. So I had this really horrible first turn, like really horrible, right? Like I think I killed like 2 scouts. So it was a really bad first turn. But then when the Liberator Assault Group player finally shows his hand and like moves out, I just gunned down all the Sangre Guard really, really easily, I feel like. I think some of it comes down to Vindicator tanks possibly just being, you know, like I said, if a Vindicator tank pops up, it just kills anything in the game. But like, it really just made me think, like, Liberator Assault Group, playing all those Sangre Guard, you just got such big weaknesses. Like, you're just toughness 4, man. Toughness 4 is not good in the current meta, it feels like. And there's so much stuff running around with like anti-infantry 3-up. I played against an Eldar list that was just like, it was basically unchargeable, right? Like every single, like the Eldar list I played against, I want to say he had like 5 fight first units, and he was also able to pick another unit from his army every turn to fight first. And I was just like, oh my god, how do you even deal with that in Blood Angels, where like the whole opponent's army is fight first? Like, what is this nonsense? I know Eldar have like a 58% win rate right now. I mean, they might not be the best example, but yeah, playing against them, I just felt like... Hello, Cozen saying, how you doing? Is your next GT after the balance slate? It will be, right? Because the balance slate's in like 2 weeks. It's funny to think the Blade Guard are an actual problem. I don't think they're a problem, dude. I think they're good. I think at 160 points for 6 guys, 30 damage 2 attacks, AP 2, strength 7, +1 to wound, lethals. Yeah, 160 points. I think they're very efficient right now. I don't think they're a problem. I think that if you wanted to win an event, and you're using Blood Angels, then I think Blade Guard are definitely a good option, right? Like there's almost nothing bad about them. Would that be fair to say? I don't know why I always say that, because no one's going to be like, that's not fair to say, you son of a bitch. But I always say that. I always be like, is that fair? Yeah, I think that's pretty fair, right? Yeah, maybe the next balance slate comes out and all the Death Company units come down 30 points and they actually change the Death Company detachment. And maybe I'll run the Death Company detachment. I mean, I would quite like to run the Death Company detachment to a tournament. I ran the Death Company detachment, or in 9th edition it wasn't as much a Death Company detachment as Death Company secondaries, wasn't it? Like, there was that secondary where it was like, you had to kill units with Death Company. And then also with that secondary, you got points every time Death Company died and stuff like that. Like, I quite enjoyed that, doing that in 9th edition. It's just the Death Company detachment's just kind of been horrible this edition. Like, yeah, I don't know what else. Like, not just the detachment's been horrible, but like none of the units are any good either. I was just saying that if you want to be super efficient and win tournaments with Liberator Assault Group right now, Rezio, there's a serious argument to just not running anything out of the Blood Angels Codex, right? I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, just run yourself 18 Blade Guard. Like, just start the list with like 18 Blade Guard, right? It's like 480 points. I don't know, let's just say 20 jump intercessors. That's like 320 points. 2 units of Outriders and a unit of Scouts. So like 1,000 points. You've got 20 jump intercessors, 18 Blade Guard, 6 Outriders, and then maybe a few points left for Scouts or something. Like, that's what's like, that is the super efficient thing to do right now, I feel like. Do I want, like, I can do that, like, I have those models, like, I can 100% do that. I guess my question is, do I want to do that? That's why I'm kind of on the fence about trying something else. Because I could do that, and it will be competitive, and it'll probably beat a lot of people. But I guess my question is, do I want to do that? Mullen says, is 100 euros for 6 Blade Guard, right? So what I'm doing, Mullen, like, so if I'm going to go to a tournament, and I'm going to take, let's say, 18 Blade Guard, I have 9 at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 9 that I have into 3 units of 3, and I'm just going to add 3 models of Sangre Guard to each one, and that's going to be my 6 Blade Guard, and I'm going to proxy 3. I'll just say to my opponent that, like, the Sangre Guard are Blade Guard. Simple as that. And I'll email my TO beforehand and double check, but I mean, generally, if they're on the right size bases, which they will be, and the models are similar size, which they will be, and they're similar armed, because all the Sangre Guard have a bolter and a gun, which they will have, I can't imagine it'll be a problem. Just as long, I mean, they'll probably say something like, just be 100% clear with your opponent that they're not Sangre Guard, and I will be. Easily done. The list I'm taking to the GT next month is 2x3 Blade Guard unled. I'm taking 2 Lancers and a Redeemer, 2x3 Sangre Guard, 6 of them with Dante, 3 Jump Pack Intercessors, 1 unit of Scouts and Mephiston. Are you playing, I take it you're playing Liberator Assault Group, right? The prices hurt me so bad. Well, dude, I'm like the cheapest person ever, right? Like, if I can avoid buying new models, I generally always do. I think ever since anyone that knows me, like I avoid buying things for myself because I like to spend my money on my kids, right? Like, that's sort of my rhetoric in life. So yeah, I mean, buy Microsoft Office? No, I'm not buying Microsoft Office. Fuck off. What a waste of money. Just use Google Drive. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's free, man. No. But yeah, I feel like you could, like, I feel like I'll just, if I really want to run 18 Blade Guard, I'll just use 9 Sangre Guard, and each squad of Blade Guard will be accompanied by 3 models of Sangre Guard, and I'll lift those ones off first. It's absolutely fine. The company champion makes a good Blade Guard proxy. There you go. If I was going to run Liberator Assault Group, I might actually run some company heroes as well, though I'm a big fan of the company heroes. But yeah, I totally understand the running, or sorry, the way that people are making Liberator Assault Group work and running all these like super cheap units. I totally get it. I just don't know if I want to do it. I think it's the same. Do you remember in 9th edition we had the same thing, right? Like, there was a period in 9th edition, like 3 months or something, maybe slightly longer. I feel like it was about 3 months, where the accepted way to play Blood Angels, like let me rephrase that. Not the accepted way. The accepted strongest way to play Blood Angels was to run, like, let's say 25 Sangre Guard, 25 Death Company, 25 Assault Marines, and I think if you had some points left over, you ran some scouts or something. Like, I think that's what it was. I think it was like 3 units of Sangard, 3 units of Death Company, 3 units of Assault Marines, and then a unit or 2 of scouts or something, right? Like, that was the accepted way to run Blood Angels for like 3 months. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. I think the thing that annoys me more is when, like, there are only 1 or 2 competitive options. Like, for example, I think you can play Angelic Inheritors without Vindicator tanks. I think it's very, very difficult to do that. Like, the Vindicator tanks are doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that detachment. And if you're not running the Vindicator tanks, it's much, much more difficult to effectively play Angelic Inheritors. And, like, I tried Inheritors a couple of times, you know, like, I did that Inheritors list with, like, 2 Ballistic Dreadnoughts, 2 Predator tanks, no Vindicator tanks. And I was like, ugh, it doesn't feel like it would work into some armies. So I think I feel like when I am forced to run one specific list, because that is the only competitive way to run something, or that is the way that's going to give you the best results. That is the way that's going to probably take home the tournament when that becomes a thing, which happens quite often, in fact, where it's like, oh right, if you want to win with Liberators, for example, yeah, like, use that 18 Blade Guard as example. Right, like, in the last couple of weeks, 2 people have won tournaments with Liberator Assault Group. Both of them took 18 Blade Guard. I think both of them also took 25-ish Jump Intercessors, or at least 20 plus. So basically you're saying, like, 18 Blade Guard, very, very good. Jump Intercessors with the Impact Mortals, very, very good. If you want to win a tournament, or do really well at a tournament without... And let's face it, in a tournament, once you get to, like, 4 games... 5 games, you're always going to play some really difficult army list that's going to be super efficient because other people are doing the same thing you're trying to do. So when you come up against those super efficient lists, you need to also be running a super efficient list. So the 18 Blade Guard and the 20 Jump Intercessors do that for you. do I have 18 Blade Guard? Well, no. I mean, I've got like 9, but I could easily proxy 9 Sangre Guards. So I could have 18. Do I have 20 Jumping Assault Intercessors? Yes, I probably do. Do I want to do that? Like, do I want to just be like, I'm desperate to win another tournament, therefore I'm just going to take what everybody thinks is absolutely the strongest thing? I think no. I think I'd rather go and have fun and make a list, and I'm probably starting like a broken record. But I only usually play one army. I play that one army all the time. So I think sometimes I need to switch things up, and sometimes I just don't want to focus. I do genuinely, I would genuinely like to win another tournament before too long. But would I like to win it enough where I go and play some super meta list that I don't care about? And if I don't care about it, it will be how long have I had that Stormraven hanging around? About 20 years. If I don't care about it, you'll see it in my streams as well, because I can't hide how I feel. I mean, if you've ever watched a stream where like the people playing are just not, you know, they're not having fun, or they seem like they're low energy, or whatever you want to call that, it'll probably be because they're playing something they don't want to play, or they're playing something that they feel forced to play. And I think I've done that before, right? Whereas like I think when 10th edition came out and Blood Angels were really, really bad, Sons of Sanguinius was a bad detachment, it didn't have that +2 strength, and it was really underperforming, and I had to play Gladius for like 6 months. I think at some point during that I was like, oh my god, I hate playing Gladius, man. I just don't want to be playing Gladius. Like I just don't know if I like this detachment, but it's obviously the strongest detachment, so I should be, like, if I want to win a tournament, I should be playing Gladius. So yeah, 40k is my hobby. I love my hobby. You guys are very good at supporting me doing what I love. And I think for me, it's, as much as I want to win some more tournaments, I do also want to like not burn out on my one army and not feel forced to play something that I don't really want to play just because that is the one accepted way to play and quote unquote win the tournament, right? But so I talk all the good talk, right? So let's say I play, let's just say we take the Stormraven, we play 5 games with it. After 5 games, I'm like, ugh, I've lost every game. The Stormraven fucking sucks. I'll be a little bit further away from the tournament that I just had, where I had like, I don't know, I don't want to say I had a bad experience at the tournament. I didn't have a bad experience at the tournament. I think I just had a bad experience with our codex in general. Like, I just think that there's a lot of problems with the Blood Angels codex. I think there's problems with Liberator Assault Group. I think there's problems with Angelic Inheritors, and I mean, I'm not trying to fix the problems. I'm just trying to have, and you know what? Maybe I'll fix some of the problems in the balance data slate, and I'll feel totally different about it. You know. But I guess where I feel that I am right now is like, I feel like there's problems in both those detachments, and I also feel like I've done both those detachments reasonably well. I think I was closer to getting 4-1 with Liberator Assault Group. I think Liberator Assault Group is probably the easier detachment to play because you've got lots of trading units. So can I, if I need to, before this event that I've got in like 10 weeks time, could I just pivot to Liberator Assault Group, take a bunch of Blade Guard, take a bunch of Jump Intercessors, practice that for like 3 or 4 weeks? So I wouldn't be super committed to it, but I'd be committed to enough to play it at a high level, and then just do that maybe. Take a Stormhawk. Yeah, I don't have a Stormhawk, man. This is in fact the only flyer that I have. I do have that new Storm Speeder, like the Primaris one, but I don't have any of the other Firstborn flyers. But yeah, I mean, I went over the Space Wolf Codex on Wednesday, and I feel like there's a lot of options on the Space Wolf Codex. It felt kind of nice. Bunch of interesting characters, bunch of characters with sweeps and strikes, bunch of characters with anti-vehicle, anti-monster 3-up stuff. The Woven look really interesting. If that is their points, then I think they're a really strong unit for 180 points. So yeah, interesting times ahead. We'll see. Well, I noticed someone asked about the 1st of June for the balanced data slate. Is that confirmed, or are you just hoping that there's going to be a balanced data slate at the start of June? Like, where are you getting your information from? I mean, you could just say, I'm getting my information from Valrak, and I'd be happy with that, because he seems to know everything these days about 40k. He has all the info. Are people going to actually run 30 blood claws? Is that a thing? I don't know if I felt like there was enough in that book to differentiate blood claws to the, what were the other ones called? They were on the same page as the blood claws. Was it Grey Hunters or something? Grey Hunters. Yeah, they seem like they potentially have very good OC. I don't know why their OC needs to be so good, but yeah, crazy, huh? Yeah, we seem to play a very big hack, or a very big penalty for having jump packs, honestly. Like I said, I haven't painted a big vehicle like this in so long, and starting on it makes me realize how many hours this is going to take. Yeah, I must admit that some of that new Horus Heresy stuff looks dope, man. If I had time to start another game system, I think I'd be totally down to start Horus Heresy with some of those new vehicles and tanks. I thought the new Dreadnought thing looks super dope. I mean, their CGI trailer helps a lot, right? Let the Sangreal Priest attach to Blade Guard, everyone will be taking 18 of them. Do you know what, if the Sangreal Priest did attach to Blade Guard, I would be right on board with taking 18 of them. I mean, people are already taking 18. Hello Highlandfields, you have arrived right as I am leaving, because I asked my wife if I could stream, and she was like, yes. And then she said, like, so are you gone for the whole evening? And I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to be gone for the whole evening. And then she was like, come downstairs and see me at like 10:30 then. I was like, okay. So unfortunately, this guy will have to wait. Whoa! You shot us! Oh, you fucking speak of the devil, you just scared the shit out of me. Is he asleep? Oh, you're not finished, alright. How much longer? Is it 10-15 minutes? Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to finish this guy in 10-15 minutes. Which... Okay. You are, I swear to God, you are like an ninja. Fucking sneaking up on me. You're in trouble or in for a good time? Either, both, maybe. I do think the new Horus Heresy rule update looks very troubling. I don't know anything about the Horus Heresy rules, Rezio. I was just looking at the models. And I was like, the new models look cool, man. So many people have asked about, is the Stormraven for weird detachment? Why am I not allowed to paint a Stormraven? Like, what is this? What is this judgment of the Stormraven? I should have just called the hobby stream. Yes, I'm painting a Stormraven. Deal with it. I don't know. I mean, I've had this model for like 20-something years. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if I'm playing Stormlance, but I'm probably gonna. You know what? Let's commit. I'm going to play a game with Stormlance against Miles on Wednesday. Miles is playing Genestealer Cults, which I know fuck all about. So, Stormlance versus Genestealer Cults, Wednesday night. Flyers are bad. Yeah, I'm not really taking the flyer for its strength. I'm taking it for what it lets me do, right? And I think there's some bonker stuff you can do in Stormlance. For the record, there's going to be a Redemptor dreadnought inside this thing. Well, if it's not a Redemptor, it's going to be a Ballistus. No, not Ballistus. Sorry, Brutalis. So there's definitely going to be some sort of melee dreadnought inside the Stormraven. I can't actually decide what I want, the Redemptor or the because the Redemptor's cool for the -1 damage and it's got the plasma, but then I feel like the Brutalis does more in melee. Stabby McStabbywood says, how are new players even supposed to get into the hobby? Well, they're getting in somehow, man. I mean, I guess they buy the combat patrol and work from there. I don't know. But yeah, I do sometimes feel like very blessed because I have a lot of models that I had when I was a child, and they've lasted, you know, I can still use them 20 years on or whatnot. Stick some Assault Centurions. I did originally think about Assault Centurions as well, because I do have Centurions. So I was, like, part of me was thinking Dreadnought, 3 Centurions. I'm doing something, it's going to be quirky, whatever I'm doing. The only thing I see with your Stormraven is you built it with landing gear deployed. Well, dude, it was built by like 13-year-old me. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't fallen apart, honestly. I mean, it's on a flying stand. Does it really matter that the landing gear's down? Couldn't it be coming in to land? If you drop the Brutalis, it dies in 1 turn. So you think you should do the Redemptor? I would love to see real Blood Angels playing against Genestealers. Well, here's the thing, Lowbrain. I think I'm taking a break from real Blood Angels for at least a few weeks. Like I think I know. Like I'm pretty sure that I know what a Liberator Assault Group list looks like, right? Like, I've run Liberator Assault Group to tournaments. I've played Sons of Sanguinius before that, which is kind of the same thing. So I think I know what Liberator Assault Group is. And I mean, I'm just not going to run it for a few weeks, I think. Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna just play some different lists for a few weeks. If I have to double, like if I can't find anything competitive out of Iron Storm or Stormlance, then I guess I'm gonna jump back onto Liberator Assault Group and try and get that ready for the GT in early August. And we'll probably try and like I'd like to probably try and have like. Probably want to have a competitive list for the GT in early August. I don't want to be going there with like something too quirky, I think. I want to be trying to be competitive. Yeah, well, I think here's the problem that I'm having with playing lag is like, so I played my first game against a very competent opponent that was playing lag at the GT, and the video will be on the channel this week, by the way, because I took photos of that whole game. I was working on it on Thursday night, so, and like I basically destroyed his entire lag army in 2 turns, like. And it wasn't even anything he did wrong, right? Like, it's just lag, actually. Like, it just doesn't actually have any durability to it. And I think, like, I like playing armies that have durability. And I think if you're playing lots of Sangre Guard, you have no durability. Like, toughness 4 is not durable in any way, shape, or form. That list, that was a Medicore lag list at best, and you know it. I don't agree with that assessment of his list, dude. The guy did great. I wonder if I can log in BCP and find out what he did. I don't think that was a Medicore lag list at all. I don't think... If we are saying that 15 Sangre Guard plus Dante and a fight first captain and Mephiston and the Sanguiner, if that's Medicore, or mediocre, sorry, then those are the best units in our codex, right? And I think this is where I'm disillusioned, right? Like Mephiston, the Sanguinor, Dante, the Sangre Guard, those are literally our best units. So if you put them all in a list and you're telling me that's a mediocre list, then I guess that's my point. I guess that's why I'm not really willing to play Liberator Assault Group for at least a little while, unless I'm doing the MSU spam, which I don't really want to do MSU spam. I mean, I'll do it. I'll probably do quite well in an event, doing it as well, but I guess my point is I don't really want to do it. You gotta remember, my English sucks, dude. I'm like a C student for English. I don't know why I speak English. I don't live in England, right? England. Ugh. Oh, the guy played it perfectly. That's my point, right? The guy I played against played that game perfectly. But it's too easy to counter. Before that game, I was genuinely worried about that game. And after turn 1 in that game, even turn 2, I was also still genuinely worried about that game. And then I just realized, like, in turn 3, I think it was, when I actually started killing stuff, the whole list just dies. Alright, one Vindicator tank comes in, kills kills like 300, 400 points of stuff. Another Vindicator comes in, kills a giant amount of stuff. It's just like, it just has no durability. 15 Sangre Guard is the issue. They're our best unit, man. You cannot deny they are our best unit. So if you're telling me that our best unit cannot be played, I mean, my list had 9 Sangre Guard, right? Let me see if I can still log into Best Ghost Pairing. I know the event finished a few days ago. Let me see if I can find out how that other Blood Angel's listed. So, it came in with 339 battle points. So 31 less battle points for me. It was a 3 and 2. So we beat Tau. He beat a Tau player that came 12th out of 40. Was it 40? Yeah. He beat an Aldari player that came 8th out of 40. He lost to Neds, who came 18th, and then he beat Miles on the Gene Stealer cults. What did he beat Miles by? $87 against... Miles got 82. So he beat Miles 87-82 in game 5 to go 3 and 2. Dude, Miles is a good player. Where was it ranked? I can show you on BCP, hold on. Oh, excuse me. So this was me in this event, 13. This was Callum, this was my first game. And like I said, So he beat 2 players that finished above me, Brian and Scott. He lost to Nids, who finished 1 place above him. Game 4 was that stupid, what's the mission? Sabotage. No, not sabotage. You know the Alpha Omega one, supply drop. I don't know if we should still be playing supply drop at tournaments. It's so stupid because I got screwed by supply. You can literally just get screwed by supply drop because it's like, oh, the objective on your opponent's side of the board is the one that's staying. And then they go second as well, so like you can get a huge swing. So like maybe like I got screwed on supply drop in my game 4. You know, I was playing Eldar. He went second, and the supply drop objective was on his side of the board at his natural expansion. So like I got totally screwed on game 4. So this could have happened to him as well. Fight first captain, Mephiston, Dante, Sanguinor, 5 assault intercessors, 5 assault intercessors, ballistas, lancer, redeemer, 15 sandguard, scouts. I really don't think that's too bad a list. But what I think it does highlight is the problems that detachment has. Like, for the most part, you're just a load of toughness 4 bodies. Which I guess you could say about any Space Marine, but it's not, you know, you don't actually have that many models, right? I'm interested in the Aldari list he beat though, because Aldari are pretty difficult to deal with. Maybe that was a little bit weaker than the Aldari list I played, but still. Lots of transports. Yeah. The thing is, I think if you play Liberate or Assault Group, you do need a lot of Sangre Guard. I mean, unless you just go, fuck it, we're not taking Sangre Guard, we're going Blade Guard. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'd like to run a lot of Sangre Guard. I feel like I'd like to run more of our jump troops, right? But I feel like if 15 Sangre Guard are the issue, then it's the same thing. It's like, so we can't run our jump troops. Like, we can just agree we can't run the jump troops in our codex. I hate it, man. Yeah, I think here's the thing, Rezion. Maybe I don't make the most min or maxed Blood Angels lists, but I do like to make my own lists. I guess that's probably more my problem, right? I like to make. I think making lists is a fun part of the hobby. I like to do it. So I think I would rather make my own list and lose than just copy a list off the internet. And sometimes I think if you do copy a list off the internet, then if you're making your own list, you will think more about it and you'll plug the holes in your own list, right? Like, because like usually I would find a list, I'll try and play it 10 times. In those 10 games, I'll see the problems and I'll change little things. Damage 3 spam is super popular at the moment, says Serenade. Do you know what? Maybe it's that, Serenade. Like, every army you play against, it's damage 3, and it's crap loads of it coming out. So, because the Sangre Guard are in T4, they have no durability. So, like, I play against the World Eaters. They just instantly lift a whole unit of Sangre Guard and the character off from like 150 point shooting unit. It's fucking World Eaters. They're not even a shooting army. They can just lift an entire unit of Sangre Guard. In the final game against Andrew, right? I still had my Land Raider on the middle objective and had a unit of Sangre Guard staged like behind the wall. And in my head, I'd said to myself like 3 or 4 times, I was like, I should put that unit of Sangre Guard into Land Raider. Because like, if Andrew blows up the Land Raider, then I'll have the Sangre Guard standing on the center objective because they've got the banner. You know, they'll be OCing it for me, even if the Land Raider explodes up, right? I said it to my head like 4 times to myself. I was like, I should put this is like I think this is turn 4, right? So like I'm embarking Sangreguard into Land Raider turn 4. Like, when do you ever do that in a tournament, or when do you ever do that in any 40k game? You don't do that. Like, I can't remember the last time I ever embarked the Sangreguard in a Land Raider in turn like 4. I can't even imagine doing it in like turn 2 or something, right? So I said that to my head 4 times, or like 4 times in this game against World Eaters. I should embark the Sangreguard. What I ended up doing was moving out of my staging position to kill a Demon Prince, which I kind of needed to kill. But then the 4 Sangreguard were standing in the open, and the World Eaters just one fucking Forge Fiend. Boom, all of them are dead. The entire squad of Sangreguard and the character, like, just too many saves to make. It's all damage 3, it's all strength 10, so it's like, you know, it's boom. And I was like looking at it and I was like, man, I said to myself in my head 4 times or something like that, put those Sangreguard in the Land Raider. But like, you just, like, that is how little survivability they have. And yeah, maybe you're right, maybe 15 Sangreguard is just too many Sangreguard to have. They just don't have survivability. But it was such a weird thing to do. But in the following turn, when it was like Andrew shot my Sangreguard with one fucking Forge Fiend, and I literally have to lift the entire squad off the board, I'm like looking at it going, I fucking said to myself, put those in the Land Raider. We just can't do it, right? Or it's just not a play you would do. Yeah. So, 60 Assault Intercessors. Do you know what? Somebody sent me a list, right? I'm going to make a video on this. Somebody sent me a list. Alright, really quick then. This is the list. Where was it? I think it was 30. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Why would it be Patreon? I'm gonna go in a minute. I'm just gonna see if I can find this list. Messages. I saved this list as well. Why? Yeah, I can't remember. Headman, do you miss the stream? Yeah, pretty much. I'm just wrapping up. But yeah, somebody sent me like the craziest horde list that I've ever seen for Blood Angels. I just can't remember where the fuck he sent it to me. Oh, do you know what? It would have been Discord. Maybe? Apparently I have too many places where people can send me messages. Because how can I not find this now? But yeah, I was gonna make a video on it. Somebody sent me a list. Oh, maybe they emailed it to my other email. I've just set up a new email address for Blood Angels Commander. One sec. Let me see if they maybe emailed it over there. Yeah, I've got it, right? Alright, here's the list, right? So this is what you want to be running. Sangreguard is our best unit. Exactly. And I guess the consensus of how I feel is they are so difficult to play right now because so many things kill them so damn easily, right? And I think that's maybe more my problem than anything else, right? So here's the list then. You ready? Blood Angels Captain, Blood Angels Captain, 10 Assault Intercessors, 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 10 Jump Pack Intercessors, 10 Jump Pack Intercessors, 10 Jump Pack Intercessors, 10 Death Company on foot, 10 Death Company on foot, 5 regular Intercessors. Boom, that just won a tournament. 3-0, 100 pointed in every game, right? 100 points in every game. It is 60 Assault Intercessors on foot, 30 Assault Intercessors with jump packs, 20 Death Company on foot, no chaplains by the way, 5 Intercessors on foot, and 2 captains. So that gives you 90, 110, 115 Marines and 2 captains. $100 points against Emperor's Children, 100 points against Necrons, 100 points against Drukhari. So on that fucking bombshell, and do what it, you know, do what you may will with it. I'm not playing that list either, by the way, because that's... Guys, have a good evening. I'm going to go spend a little bit of time with the wife before bed. I'll see you tomorrow for the Army List show, remember? 8 PM. Leave a list if you want to. But don't send me a list with 115 Marines in it, because I've already seen it. Isn't that exactly what we want? 115 Marines. I don't even know what we want now, but I think what we do want is some improvements to the codex, right? See you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for the super chats. Thanks again for the new members. I do really appreciate it. Have a good evening, guys. See you tomorrow.